everybody, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Gabby.
And today we're here with the lovely author of 1,000 Pieces of You, among other things, Miss Claudia Gray. Yeah. We're going to interview her today because we're at the Louisiana Book Festival and she and a couple other YA authors are here, and so we want to talk to them.
It again.
What can you tell us about the newest addition to the Firebird series?
It's called 10,000 Skies Above You, and it comes out Tuesday, although I do believe we had some advance copies for sale here today.
We were hoping that.
They're supposed to be here. They're supposed to be here, so let's hope that's true. Essentially, we pick up with Marguerite in order to try and get her cooperation in Triad's big schemes. They have not only kidnapped Paul, but they have splintered his consciousness into 4 different dimensions in order to be able to rescue all of these, reunite them, and basically put Paul back together again. She has to do Triad's dirty work, and so she's going through these other dimensions, meeting other versions of her family and friends that she has to betray, and at the same time finally finding out exactly what it is Triad wants her for.
That's so cool. I can buy this book. I hope they have them so I can buy it.
The questions have gone AWOL.
A lot of authors don't have hands in creating their covers, but I want to know if you had a hand in creating the beautiful covers that are the Firebird series.
I didn't have a hand in creating it. I had a hand in not letting other covers be the cover. You know, they started with covers that looked much more, to me, sort of generic, you know.
Like the girl in the dress.
A girl in a dress, yeah, and there was some water. There was some water. The one thing that I said it had to look like was different worlds. Somehow we had to have the concept of different worlds in there. I just kept saying, like, we gotta have that, we gotta have that, we gotta have that. Now, never in 1,000 years did I think they would come up with what they came up with, which was gorgeous. So yeah, that had nothing to do with creating it, but I'm very glad that I held out. I was like, no, come on, I know we can do it.
I remember I went to RT Book Lovers Convention when it came to New Orleans, and like the day before they had released the cover, and I was like, this is gorgeous, I need an arc of this, and I got an arc of this. And
but they were black.
Yeah.
The arcs were
so
black.
I just like taped a cover. Just like, this is so pretty. It's not real, but it's here. You know,
I just finished reading 1,000 Pieces of You. I brought it to school, and like everyone was like, oh my gosh, that book cover is so pretty, and like people kept asking me about it, and I was like, yes, it's gorgeous, I know. The book's really good too.
I have pictures up in here, because the new cover is really pretty too. San Francisco, or?
It's San Francisco and Paris, although Paris not exactly like our Paris.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
Awesome.
Did you have to do in-depth science research for this book, for these books?
I did a little. I mean, to be clear, there are 2 things I want to be totally clear about. One, I think a lot of people think this is still very theoretical, but most physicists that work on this sort of thing agree that these different quantum realities are an actual thing, that this is absolutely true. All of that is happening. Every choice you could make has been made. All of those realities exist in some sense.
There's like an actual science that like
that this is true, but of course the fantasy part is we are nowhere near being even able to perceive that, much less travel there, assuming we even could. I wanted to nod at the real science, but there was no point in coming up with some really huge technobabble thing because it wouldn't be true and it would sound fake. So I tried to understand a little bit of it, but you know, nobody wanted math equations in this book. And I was lucky enough, I actually did this, but since Marguerite is an artist and sort of the non-scientist in the family, it makes sense for her not
to know all of
she's
science.
Narrating the story and she's not going to spout all that at you because that's not her thing.
And I think the way you did explain it in the books like made it easy to grasp and like understand, and it wasn't too
Some
like
books do
scientific
the
and
technobabble
stuff.
thing, and it's like, I bet that's real, but I don't know enough science to know if it is real or not. What made you choose the alternate dimensions that you did and like create them? What inspired you?
With the first book, actually with all the books, with the first book when I was having the idea the first dimensions to take shape were very much based on nonfiction books I've been reading, because I read nonfiction when I'm writing. I just read a book, Nicholas and Alexandra, which was about Russia in the Revolutionary era, and I'd also read a book about rogue waves, you know, and so we have the Russia verse, we have the ocean verse. With 10,000 Skies Above You, there's some of that as well, but also it's just what would be really different from what we've seen. It had to both be cool and interesting and exciting in and of itself, but then it also had to present a challenge for Marguerite and the characters, because I thought of some worlds that I was like, that's really neat, but there's nothing there
That's like
that is going to really move the story forward. So it had to be a combination of those things.
So have you thought of like any other dimensions that you're kind of like, this is cool, but we don't need this in the stories? Like
Some of those just don't get to have their
short
time.
stories, perhaps.
Maybe.
So So, about Firebird number 3. Can you tell us anything about it?
I just finished it about 6 weeks ago,
Oh, awesome.
I think. When you read 10,000 Skies Above You, you will know
We need it.
where this one picks up. Yeah. I can't tell you too much about it until you've read the
Right.
second book, because it would not only
Spoil.
hint at the third book, it'll spoil the second book. But I will say that Marguerite ends up returning to more than one dimension that she's seen before, which is the thing that happens in 10,000 Skies Above You, but it becomes a much bigger theme in the third book, really looking at the repercussions of what she's done throughout the multiverse and how that is playing out.
Okay. So do you know about like an approximate release year?
Oh, it'll be this time next year.
Awesome.
This time
That's
next year.
exciting. I'm sure the
we're-
cover will be just
We're
as nice.
working on the cover right now. I think it's going to look really pretty. It's very close to final.
Oh, that's so exciting. So is it just going to be a trilogy, or do you want to explore her world further?
It's just a trilogy as we have it right now. Now, that said, I would love to tell stories about this forever, and the whole fun of the concept is that there really doesn't have to be any ending. I'll probably still be putting up ficlets and stuff even after it's gone. You know, and I actually have an idea springing out of something that her parents do in the final book, but it would be more separate. I sort of feel like Paul and Marguerite's story, that fundamental thing that's sort of happening between them, I feel like is complete in the 3 books.
Besides the Firebird series, what else are you working on right now? Is it just that, or are you...
I just finished my second Star Wars book.
Oh yeah, I know you're having those come out soon.
Yeah, there's one in stores now, Star Wars Lost Stars, which is YA. And then the one that I've just finished is called New Republic Bloodline, and that will be coming out, I think, in March, in the spring anyway, and it's set 6 years before The Force Awakens. I can't say anything more about
Okay,
it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with us today.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
this
this
was
was really
wonderful.
nice.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm Maddie,
And I'm Gabby.
and this is Miss Claudia Gray signing off. See y'all next time. Bye.